Oh, we're gonna watch the trailer for. Oh, this isn't nice. Why is that turned up? Just got sat down. Mad. Go away. We're gonna watch the trailer. Oh, we have a special look, which I think is actually more people talking about it than actual footage from it. But for Star Wars Visions, so this is the anime take on Star Wars, and the whole deal behind it is that various Japanese animation studios were, told to tell a story that's well, we'll get in a second, based off the Star Wars property, and yeah, basically just go wild. Star Wars /anime. Now, the interesting thing that's just been revealed on, I think, an FAQ on the website is supposedly this isn't canon. Or at least they were told not to bother having to tie it into the existing universe. Didn't have to follow anything that had been established. We didn't have to, but I could bring up the FAQ. I'm not going to bother to. They were basically just being like, we didn't have to tie into the existing, we didn't have to like do all that, which is confusing. For various reasons, mostly because Disney did a whole controversial thing where they restructured canon so that they could, tell stories that were, easier to manage in terms of continuity, which made sense in the long run, I suppose. So then basically like, oh yeah, just go wild. Doesn't really make much sense. And it kind of devalues it in a way because it's like, well, this isn't real Star Wars. It's just kind of like a take on it. I guess it's comparable to a Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, in a sense, I suppose, which is like, or any of the other Lego kind of things which aren't meant to be that, but are still official kind of stuff. But maybe that's, being misunderstood. I don't know. There's gonna be 9 episodes. They're called The Duel, Lop and Oko, Tatooine Rhapsody, The Twins, The Elder, The Village Bride, Akakin, T0B1, and The Ninth Jedi. And there is 7 studios involved. So Trigger do episode 4 and 5, Science Zero do 7 and 8, and then the rest are all done by individual studios. Kamikaze Duga, Studio Colorado, Production IG, and Genius Studio. None of them mean much to me, but yeah. So let's give it a watch and then see what's to be said about it, shall we?
Star Wars Visions is going to be an exciting anime anthology series coming to Disney Plus in September. Japanese animation inspired a lot of the people at Lucasfilm over the years. We loved the idea of seeing Star Wars expressed in that way.
Each one of these studios that we approached, we found hardcore Star Wars fans. They all had a story they wanted to tell.
初めてスター・ウォーズの企画って言ったらもうあれなんかこのような夢のようなことができるのかなというふうにはちょっと思いましたね。
いやもうついに来たなともう待ってました。その時の提案の内容がこれスター・ウォーズでこれやっていいのかっていうなんか面白いものだったんで。
We were looking for something from the heart and soul of the individual creators. They are their visions through the lens of Star Wars.
There are so many genres at play. Big and bold, romantic and sweeping, funny, comedic.
で、この作品独自の、スタイルとしては、ロックオペラということで
日本の山岳文化みたいなことをしっかり描けたらな。
万国教の双子がどう生まれてこれがどうなるのかというのが基本的な設定ですね。
ライトセーバーって子どもの夢が詰まったガジェットだと思うんですよね。でそれをさらに今回僕はもうちょっと和のテイストみたいなものを。
We tried to have some retro vintage feeling. We couldn't skip the Astro Boy influence. People love Astro Boy.
どちらかといえば自分は最初象徴的な意味を、さっき言ったように、人間の姿をしてない主人公にしたかった。
スター・ウォーズみたいな時代劇を作りたいマスターとパダワンが未知の敵みたいなのに遭遇するっていうお話ですね。本当に最後はスター・ウォーズあれば、本望だったなとは思います。
We feel so fortunate to be working with these filmmakers. There are so many opportunities to reflect Japanese storytelling in a Star Wars universe.
Star Wars Visions is completely different than everything else in Star Wars storytelling. Audiences will fall in love with it.
Yeah, so that's Visions. So I grew up watching anime, as I guess most kids, especially 90s kids, did. But I guess I watched a very specific genre of anime. To put it bluntly, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh! And a whole variety of others which, names escape me, like a whole bunch of mechas, obviously Pokemon, Digimon, Beyblade, Super Tsunami, whatever. I watched a whole bunch of these, but I think these are all very... I recently then, watched some other animes that weren't, ones I watched growing up, and I think that's me realised I've only watched a particular part. And so, I don't want to comment on this from a critical perspective of anime, because I don't think I have the knowledge to do that justice. I don't have the knowledge of Japanese culture to do it justice. I had the fun opportunity to kind of delve a bit into that during my degree, and that was interesting and maybe inspiring to do a bit more, but I don't have that at the moment. So we're going to go for this, but don't expect any kind of deep commentary on anime-ness, because I don't think I'm the right person to do that, and I don't want to be disrespectful to the art. Right, so I guess this is what I'll do is I'll play it again. I'll pause if I want to pause, but I'll just do some commentary over it. So we do see a different art styles. Obviously, anime isn't one single art style, but there's different types of anime. So we do see a lot of different art styles. There's a lot here which is very distinctly anime. The whole way the teeth are drawn, the eyes. It's all very distinctly anime. This looks like actually a recreation of the Hondo maneuver, which is a very beautiful shot. Whatever you think about the practicalities, it was visually beautiful. Maybe I should talk a bit before I forget about the what was just said by the people on the screen. So obviously they mentioned they came to these studios, these filmmakers, and they were all Disney, they were all Star Wars fans, and they all had stories to tell already. So this kind of plays into the whole idea that this isn't canon Star Wars, it's just stories told with, basically it's fanfic, anime fanfic, but endorsed by Disney. At least that's how it's coming across at the moment. Basically telling anime stories, but they're able to use Star Wars tropes and such in the show. But everyone seems very passionate, and I'm sure I'll be great with that. So we see a whole bunch of very kind of recognizable figures, looks like, stormtrooper outfits, droids, things like that. But then they've also been given anime to Japanese looks. So I think about Star Wars, people always forget. Star Wars is, I think, one of the best examples of how you can derive from other media and make it your own thing. Star Wars is like a rip-off. When Star Wars is Star Wars well, Star Wars is only doing Star Wars well when Star Wars is ripping other things off. And Star Wars rips off a lot of culture. The very first Star Wars was meant to be kind of a Flash Gordon-esque space opera, samurai, all of that. Like, it was stealing from Westerns, it was stealing from Japanese culture, it was stealing from American science fiction, it was stealing from everything, and it made it its own. And that's what Star Wars as well. And so, when it riffs off other things. So it only makes sense that then we would take Star Wars and expect... Am I actually live? I hope I'm live. This would be very embarrassing if I'm not live. Okay, I am live, it's just... this hasn't loaded. Yeah, so... yeah, it only makes sense that then we take Star Wars and ask something it's based on to riff off that, and it clearly goes very hand in hand. An example of this is obviously in The Mandalorian, which is fantastically. Mandalorian is basically often a shot-for-shot Western at its heart, but then it takes a lot of like cues. What is going on here? I think it's because I need to keep changing my green screen depending on the change in the weather outside. There we go. Like Mandalorian did a lot of that, but it also did a lot of basic things of westerns. Whoops. Like, this is probably concept art, but it has a lot of. There's a distinct style there. That's obviously a distinct style. I think later on it's based on Astro Boy, which we have not actually seen, but got that there. Again, like here, a lot of kind of this could be equal Japanese concept art or Star Wars concept art, because a lot of Star Wars concept art takes a lot of inspiration from Japanese film. And even the set design, so it matches very, very well. Like this looks very kind of Studio Ghibli-esque, but it's distinctly Jesus Christ, Jabba. Sorry, that was an embarrassing mistake to make, and it was a slip of the tongue I show you completely and entirely. And so we get a chance to speak to kind of the directors of each of the episodes and their minds and their kind of approaches to each and some of the concept art. And so we see that we have a very distinct kind of art design that each character is bringing, each filmmaker is bringing to their own anthology episode. Well, again, just highlights that it's meant to be anime first and then Star Wars second. I guess maybe that's unfair to say, but you get what I'm trying to say here. Like that. I won't pause it. I'll point out when it comes across again. Like the blade on that guy's lightsaber is I don't know my Japanese weapons very well. I want to say katana-esque. It might not be katana because. From a Western perspective, there's a tendency to call all samurai blades katanas, but actually they all have distinct names. I'm probably wrong on that front. But you get what I'm trying to say. It looks like a traditional hilt, not a lightsaber hilt, is the point I'm trying to make there. Hear a bit more about kind of what each of these kind of takes are meant to be kind of saying at the heart of it. We get some episodes that look very traditional, kind of set in a bygone, in a kind of a more older age, and then we see some things that seem very techno and very futuristic. So there's a large kind of variety at play there. here we see a bit more of the kind of Astro Boy kind of reference being discussed. Yeah, and then like, obviously this kind of aspect of a non-human character, which is you can easily do with Star Wars, but isn't foreign to anime either. I think there's been a whole bunch of anime I watched where you would have here look at the swords. The swords are like blades, not how lightsabers are traditionally drawn, but still lightsabers. This is what kind of say about how it's anime. It's anime, but with Star Wars kind of aspects to it that you couldn't get away with. Like even these kind of short blades here, this kind of aspect here, it could be any other anime, but it's given this kind of Star Wars lens on it. What was I saying? Yeah, I watched a whole bunch of anime where you just have like Adam. There's Boba Fett, so that's interesting. Actually, you get a returning character, but you get not anamorphic. That's not the word. Anthropalized animal characters. Like in Dragon Ball Z, you had like the mayor of a city was like a dog, that kind of thing. And it was like that's just fine. That's how it works. No one's gonna question it. That kind of aspect. So. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Days. Obviously, it's very kind of sneak peek of what we're going to expect and hear all the episode titles. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it kind of develops and where it plays in the larger kind of franchise. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow with my reaction to the next episode of The Bad Batch.